What's happening, agents? Infamous Trickster here, and welcome to another one of my Division 2 build guides. Today we're going to be talking about the exotic sniper rifle, the Mantis. We're going to be breaking down the weapon, the gear pieces that I'm using, and these skills. So let's get into it here. So this is, the rules could be better on this, but you got to take what you can. So we're looking at 12% marksman rifle damage on here, 99% headshot damage, and 9% damage to targets out of cover. Now the talent on here is a very unique one because it works hand in hand with a specific skill. Now the talent on here is called In Plain Sight. Your scoped view displays additional information about enemies that are not targeting you. Headshot and weak point damage against enemies not targeting you is amplified by 50%. Headshot kills reset the cooldown of the decoy skill. This bonus will wait until the decoy goes on cooldown if currently active. So like I mentioned, it works hand in hand with the skill, and the skill is the decoy. So it's really cool because what happens is every single time you get a headshot kill, it resets the cooldown on that. Now, if you guys have ever used the decoy, you'll know that the decoy doesn't have a very long duration. So my biggest challenge with this so far is each time the decoy goes on cooldown to remember that it's already been activated again because of a headshot kill and just redeploying it again. So I'll show you guys some gameplay of how this works. So that's for the Mantis. Now the secondary weapon that I'm using is the White Death, which I had in my last sniper video, but mainly using the Mantis. So the White Death, we're looking at max rolled 15% marksman rifle damage, 137% headshot damage, 8% damage to targets out of cover. Talent on here is Ranger, amplifies damage by 2% for every 5 meters you are away from your target. So for those long range shots, I like to take out this one, because of the fact that the Mantis cannot toggle between zooms. Okay, so this is the one that I use for the longer range targets. And the sidearm I'm using is a double barrel sawed-off shotgun. We're looking at 10% shotgun damage, 9% damage to armor, and 9% headshot damage. The talent on here is Pummel, which gives 3 consecutive kills, refills the magazine, and grants 40% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Now this is just a sidearm that I'm using for this, for those close encounters, for those oh shit moments. So that's what we're looking at for this. Alright, so we are currently rocking 3 pieces of the Aces and Eights set. I have changed up the gear a little bit. I think I got a new chest piece since the sniper build, but we'll break everything down again here. So the first piece we're looking at is the mask. We've currently got 3 pieces equipped, so we're looking at the 2-piece and 3-piece bonuses. So the 2-piece gives you 15% marksman rifle damage, and 3-piece gives you 30% headshot damage. And core attributes we're looking at are 11.9 weapon damage, maxed out headshot damage at 10%, and the mod slot has 8% headshot damage. Backpack we're looking at, it's a Araldi Holdings. Now we've currently got 2 of these equipped, so we've got 10% marksman rifle damage and 15% headshot damage. Now the core attribute on here is weapon damage at 14.3%. Attributes we're looking at 6.8 headshot damage, max weapon handling at 8%, and 7.8 headshot damage. Now the talent on here is Vigilance, increases total weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables this buff for 4 seconds. So if you do get hit, you want to just stay in cover for 4 seconds and the buff will be back up again. Now the chest piece, like I mentioned, I did just get a new one. It already had higher weapon damage on it, so I re-rolled one of the stats that were on there. So we're looking at Providence for the chest piece, and it's giving us 15% headshot damage for wearing 1 piece. Now the weapon damage is the core attribute on here at 12.5%. Other attributes we're looking at is 9.7 headshot damage, which was re-rolled, 10.9 skill haste, and 8.6 headshot damage for the mod slot. Now this is what really brings this whole build together. This talent on here called Headhunter. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 125% of that killing blow's damage. Damage is capped to 800% of your weapon damage, but this is raised to 1,250% if your headshot damage is greater than 150%. And we will look at the stats in just a moment, but I am definitely above that 150%. We are getting the maxed amount at 1,250%. Gloves we're looking at is the second piece of the aces and eights. We're looking at 11.9 weapon damage and maxed 10% headshot damage. Araldi Holdings is the second piece on the holster. We're looking at 12.4% weapon damage, 8.8 critical hit damage, and 8.7 headshot damage. And the last piece of gear is the knee pads, which is the third piece of aces and eights. We're looking at 10.4 weapon damage and 9.4 headshot damage. Now we're going to break down the skills that I'm using. So let's go with the first one that works hand in hand with the Mantis here. So we are currently looking at the holographic distraction decoy. So this distraction decoy creates a lifelike projection of a threat to hostiles, drawing their attention from the user. Now, I've used it a little bit, and to be honest with you, it doesn't work 100% of the time. I'm not 100% sure if it has anything to do with line of sight or anything like that, but sometimes I notice that the targets don't get aggro. They don't get aggroed by the decoy. So it's going to take a little bit of testing and experimentation to figure that out. But let's look at what we've got here. So the cooldown is obviously not working on there, but that doesn't even matter what the cooldown is, because the cooldown would reset as soon as we get a headshot. Duration is 16 seconds, and the health on that is just under 1 million health and 100% threat. And the second skill that I'm using is the Booster Hive. So this one here is giving us some decent damage output on those big heavies. With one of these down, I'm actually able to two-shot the heavies. Unfortunately, you can't one-shot them because the helmet breaks on the first shot, and then as soon as you take out the helmet, the headshot comes next, and it is a one-shot. So obviously this build, you want to be in the sharpshooter specialization. There are a few main reasons why, and I'll show you what those reasons are right now. So first and foremost, this is pretty much a headshot damage build. So we're looking at this talent here, one in the head, 15% increased headshot damage with rifles and marksman rifles, allows for precision kills. Breath control at tier 3, we're looking at 15% increased weapon stability, reduced recoil, and faster reacquisition of targets. This one is very nice here. Now, if you'd like to run directives like I do once in a while with to gain bonus XP, this one here doesn't really affect you because you just have to stay in cover for 20 seconds, and then every 10 seconds you generate ammo for free. So that's a good directive to put on with this build if you like to run with directives. And this here gives extra armor while you're in cover. So it's just a little bit of extra cushioning to prevent you from getting killed. Alright guys, so let's go to the shooting range here. I'll show you guys a little bit of how this works. Now it won't be 100% accurate in this scenario because of the fact that we are not fighting enemies that will get aggro from the decoy, but we'll try and throw it out anyways. So notice right now the decoy cooldown is still going down right now, but as soon as I got a headshot, it let me know that the decoy is going to be off of cooldown as soon as it finishes. So see that? We're good there. We get to throw another one out. Let's get another headshot going. Now the damage isn't too bad on the Mantis. It all depends on when you get Headhunter stacked up. So right now I think this one maxes out at about 18 to 19 million per shot. But it does get a bit higher once you actually have targets that are actually aggroed by your decoy. Okay, so like I said, I will show you guys some gameplay and show you guys essentially how it works. And the good thing about this one is you're actually able to quick scope as well. So if you guys notice this, with the Nemesis, you're not able to quick scope because of the fact, I mean, you can, but you're not going to be getting the max damage that you should be getting. But see, quick scoping is actually a thing for this, so it's pretty cool. You can try it out, and takes a bit of getting used to, but I think it's pretty cool. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video here. I usually stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Gaming, Infamous Trickster, and you will definitely see me testing out the builds and just showing you guys a bit of fun once in a while too. So definitely tune in, and yeah, that's it. If you guys found this video helpful, definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for future content as well, and until next time, Infamous Trickster out.
Backup.
Deal with any Division 8. I can get this running again. Got more where that came from.
Access key detected.
They got back up. Shit! Bleed mom! I'm blind! What the fuck? Stop killing!
That's your target.
What we do? Let's burn it up!
You got the target. Nice. Target neutral.
infamous Trickster Gaming.